Apologies for not paying attention to the clock. Hellerman on with the double after Maria couldn't get up high enough to get the ball. It just went right over her head. Here comes Todd Xavier, the first baseman, batting .370, the pitch. And he'll take strike one right down the middle. Here comes the 0-1. And that's going to be grounded over to the left side. Jacinda with an arm to Ernie Steele. The throw back, not going to be in time. Angela got tripped up. So you got 2 outs, but 1 on third. Here comes Colleen Klinker. Shortstop, batting .148. Maybe she can get Hellerman along home. The first pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Here comes the next pitch from DeVecchio, the 0-1. And that's going to be fouled off. Right around to the dirt. 0-2. Big pitch coming up. The 0-2 to Klinker and a swing and a miss. That is the third K, and that is also the end of the Monsters, the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Couple of hits for the Monsters, but they strand one on third. Angela DeVecchio coming up to the batter's box. A very dangerous lady on both offense and defense. The pitch. And that's going to be grounded to the right side. Going to be a tricky play. He's got it, and it makes out number 1. Jacinda Smith, the third baseman, steps in. She's batting .343 on the year. She'll take strike one on the outside corner. 0-1 with 1 out, bottom of the second. The pitch. And that's going to be choppered to the left side. This is going to be a close play. The throw to first in time. Jacinda just barely, maybe a couple of steps away. Could not get there. And now that brings up Amir Khan. So very quickly, two batters in, 2 outs later, Amir Khan steps in. And that's going to be grounded right back to the pitcher. But the pitcher missed with the dive, couldn't get the ball thrown. And Amir Khan is on with a very shallow hit single. Stephanie Morgan checks in. .343. She's had a pretty decent year, playing at both positions, at the box and at shortstop, as she'll take ball 1 high and in. 2 out, 1 on, 1-0 to Morgan. And that's going to be whiffed up. A tricky play. It is caught for the out, and that'll end the second inning. You can never tell when the ball's popped up like that. Sometimes it'll have so much spin to where it'll just pop right out of the defender's glove. We go to the top of the third. As of right now, the only thing that's on the board are the hits, and not even that's a high number. Chad Koppel comes right back up to the box for his second attempt today. The pitch from DeVecchio. He struck out once, and he'll take strike 1 swinging. Looking for the sign. DeVecchio delivers. And strike 2 swinging. Angela not even looking for a sign from Amir. Normally, if you can get him suckered. And a swung on and miss. Chad Koppel. And that makes for strikeout number 4 for Angela DeVecchio. Here comes Billy Mendelson. He's able to cap out that single. And that's going to be whiffed over to the left side. Angela almost got on top of it. The pitch to Ernie. And that is all. And just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out later. And here comes Ramona Bennett. The first pitch. And she'll take a ball on the inside. Here comes the 1-0. And now it's 1-1. DeVecchio having a strong outing on the mound this season. And grounded ball to the left side. Jacinda's got it. The throw to Ernie. In time. Just barely. And Bennett, maybe a millisecond away from getting on first, is robbed. Well, Corang, halfway through the season, figured out that Jacinda's got a stronger arm at third than Ahmed does. So that's why they switched players. We go to the bottom of the third, still tied at nothing. And here comes Ahmed Khan, the only guy left in the ballgame that hadn't had an at-bat until now. Element in the numbers. That's going to be strike one swinging for Ahmed. Bombers' offense just can't capitalize on that right hook. And that's going to be pounded back. Against the backstop, 0-2. The pitch. Strike three for Ahmed Khan. It looked low to him, but in the zone, and he goes back to the dugout. And here comes Corang, the left fielder coming up. He's the only one of the... He's one of two people that have had hits. And they'll take strike one swinging. 0-1 to Corang. Hit that double at the very first at bat he had. And strike two. 0-2 to count. The pitch. Ball one, 1-2. Hellerman switching up the pitches, going away from the curve and trying to throw in a sneaky slow ball. And not fooling Corang. 2-2 to count with one out in the bottom of the third. And that's going to be hit hard to the right side again. And that barely almost cleared the fences. He tripped and fell at first, and Corang again is going to be on with a double. Almost the same exact spot and the same power behind the bad hit. That one nearly went over the fence. And now Ernie Steele checks in. He'll take strike one. 0-1. So Corang on second. That's about as close as they've been to home all day. And strike two from a swinging Steele. 0-2 with one out. Ellerman's pitch. And that's going to be grounded to the left side. Going to be one heck of a tricky play. The throw. Oh, they're keeping an eye on Corang. A smart maneuver. Now it forces Corang to move at first. That's a situation where you don't want to overthrow the ball at first and allow Corang to move on over to third without a problem. Here comes Maria Luna, who had that big powerful hit out of her first at-bat. She takes strike one on the outside. Little girl packs a heavy punch behind the plate and on defense. She'll take ball one, 1-1. 1-1 with one out, two on. And strike two, 1-2. Corang15, the coach says she's the best second baseman, and this is even with, and strike three swinging. Couldn't take a chance. Coach Corang, we talked to him earlier, he said she's the best second baseman, even counting the MLB pro players on the game. Or in the league, rather. Here comes Keisha Phillips with two on and two out. She'll take strike one on the outside. And here comes the 0-1. That's going to be strike two on the low side. Keisha Phillips has struck out once today. The next pitch. And that's going to be gifted over to the left side. Going to be tricky to play. And they got him out at